Dora and Bootsy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Hello everybody, this is Andy. Today we're gonna start with grade 2, and the first song that we're gonna do is Dora and Bootsy. It's a pretty funky song with a lot of details and a lot of new features. It's one of the songs that I normally start. It's one of my favorite. It reminds me a lot of Bootsy Collins, James Brown, and early funk 70s stuff. There are triplets, openings, and variation. You use quite a lot of the drum kit. Disclaimer for here, I'm actually gonna use, in some part of the songs, require a second tom on here. I only have 2 in my kit, so I'm gonna arrange on that. It's more than enough for me, and I think that the song will work as good anyway. But if you wanna complete this song in all the details, you should use another tom here. Alright, let's have a look on it. So as you can see, we start already having something that we haven't seen before, grade 2, and it's normally introduced to this grade, is a note that precedes the beginning of the song and precedes the first bar. This is what this one here, and this is what in music is known as anacrusis, and it has to be included in the counting, in the 2 bars counting before the beginning of the first bar.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Also, what you can see is something new that it's called flam. And it's this little note over here. A flam is when you're playing 2 notes really close between each other. And normally it's grace notes like this one, like a ghost note, and a big note like this one, which is the main one. What I recommend to do it in this exercise is to playing the small notes closer to the position your hand closer to the drum, and the other one a bit further apart, and then execute the movement, the 2 hands at the same time, and alternate that as the exercise that follows. Also, please check on I'll include some links with other great examples that you can find on internet. Okay, starting the song, after a while we got already something kind of new, not exactly new, but kind of new, that there are those openings on the beat. The hi-hat opens on the beat together with either a bass drum or a snare drum, like in this case. And they can cause some problems because it's a sound, it's quite different, and it's quite hard to balance the opening and the length of the opening of the hi-hats. That's why I created this little exercise that can help you with that. Always keep in mind to calculate and to note when you have to close the hi-hats, which is normally, once again, together with the bass drum. Also, please know the kind of effect that you want to get, which is a kind of a crash sound, similar to the crash that you actually happen to playing every 2 bars. Yeah, then keep moving on part A. There's still quite a lot of things to going through. Another introduction in this grade is the repetition marks, as you can see over here. We already been through the 2 dots that repeat a section that starts from here and gets to here. But in this case, as you can see, we have 2 numbers. In this case, what that means is that the first time that you're playing, you want to get, let's say, starting from here, then to here, then first repetition, then goes back from here, and when he got to bar 7, skips bar 8, goes straight to bar 9 into section B. Also, first repetition, you can see there is a little triplet here. We started getting introduced in triplets within an even 4/4 straight groove and not on a 6/8 like we did before. Here's a little exercise that can help you getting triplets within a 4/4 groove. This is kind of a cycle of 4 where the 4th bar, the drum fill on the 4th bar is made with triplets. Full bar, half of it, and then some variation that can lead you to the one that there is on the exercise. Please keep in mind that especially on the last one, you want to get, I would recommend to get as a sticking right, left, left rather than right, left, right. On part B, it's quite interesting. What you have is like a call and response kind of grooving over here. So basically you have the first section that is always the same one, and you have this kind of syncopated beat with, you have a snare, double bass drum, and then another snare on the end of 2, and then a snare on 4 as usual. And then the other bar that it always have a variation. The first one quite easy and standard, and then some developments. So keep in mind, work it out the first part and this bar over here, and you might want to spend a little time to sort out the coordination. It's not that difficult, but it's something quite new, so you might find some problems at the beginning. Then on bar 13 we got something that is quite new, and it's an introduction, and we're gonna have a lot on ear test and on sight reading, which is those combination of 2 16 notes and 1 8 note. They are really important. They are all over music everywhere, and especially in drums and coordination at this level. It's really important to learn that. At the beginning they are kind of hard to remember it, but after a while you will end up using it in lots of different situations. So in order to understand this part, I made this little exercise that can show you all the different combinations. So we started with simple 8 notes, and 16 notes. We are already quite familiar with that. Then we have all the different combinations, and as you can see, when you have on 8 notes, you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 16 notes, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E, no? And then you can combine the two with these 4 main combination. Here I just included the one that consists in 3 notes. So especially number 3, 4, and 5. So the way that I normally explain, there are so many different ways you can use syllables that can help you to get the right rhythm. There are some tricks that using animal names, some other using drink names, and then there are lots of other ones. Here, what I would consider is just consider that you want to use the 16 notes that are template, and then take out one of those 4 notes. Like in this one here, which is the one that we're using, we just take out the A, so the 4th 16 note within the bit, and it will sound. Then you have this one here that gets 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, then 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, where we take the 3rd 16 notes. In here we took out the 2nd one. And then the last one, which is actually 3 16 notes, but you take out the 1st one, so it's. Now in this drum fill we just have those triplets in the first 3, excluding the 4th 16 notes, that normal quavers, and then another one like that. So on the last bar before parts C, what can be difficult is navigate through all this unison, even though it's way easier than it looks. So first of all, starting with the first layer, bass drum is on all 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, where you got the snare drum. The left hand stays on the snare drum for a good part for the first 3 beats, while the right hand stays on tom 1 for the first 2 beats, and then gets on the floor tom on the 3rd beat. Then here you play once again another of this combination, 1 EN, without the 4th of the 16 notes. Part C, it's nothing that different from what we've seen before. For once, there's nothing particularly new. You have a couple of snare drums here. It's kind of a little drum fill with a floor tom at the end. Lots of times people ended up missing this one. Crash here, all the rest it's pretty standard. Then is the ending, that it's something not that different from the. It's something that once again use this combination, this 3 notes in a row combination, 3 out of 4 of the 16 notes combination. Together with a crash cymbal, and right at the end here, what it does is like an inverted kind of drum fill, that rather than doing as normal snare tom 1 tom 2 floor, it's snare floor tom 2 tom 1. Once again, in my demonstration I will use just 1 tom, and then a flam at the end on the floor tom this time. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you for the next song. See ya!